Hey guys, Jeremiah with Steps Pressure Washing and More. Going to be doing a little bit of winter washing today. This is going to be probably the coldest I've ever washed in. It is currently 36 degrees. We are going to be getting up to about 40 for a couple of hours, and so I'm going to be heading out to Smithfield. I've got one job on the schedule for today, and it's about 11:45. The reason why I only scheduled one job is because I knew we were going to have some cold days this week, so I really tried to schedule light. It has bit me so far this season, being a little bit busier than normal, so I am trying to spread out my job, so I'm not trying to do too much. I mean, if it's gutter cleaning, I'll go out, I'll do it as long as it's above freezing, because cleaning out frozen gutters, I learned the hard way, that sucks. But I've got my rig winterized. This is the first time I've ever winterized any part of my rig, and this was out of an abundance of caution because we are over freezing. It is garage kept, so I normally never do anything to it and just keep it in the garage until it's time to go. But because it's so close to freezing and we're going to be running down the road for about 30 minutes, I just don't want any crystals forming along the way between here and there, so I put some windshield washer fluid in my line. I know I have read that RV antifreeze is kind of your go-to on these, but I had windshield washer fluid, and this is what was recommended by the pressure washing store that sold me the unit. They told me that antifreeze would be good, but this would be a good alternative as well. I might end up putting in some antifreeze very soon, but the way I fed this in here, let me get in here, I'll show you. I have a shutoff valve between the tote, the 275, got my filter, and it comes along, and I have my dump valve. And the reason why I put the dump valve here and the shutoff valve right here is so that I could turn off the water coming out of the tank, and nothing's going to flow back into the tank. But I can use this. Once that suction starts, it pulls it straight up out of my dump valve and straight into the pump. So I'm able to feed into it. It's not, perfect system, but it worked really well this morning. And again, this was the recommendation of the gentleman who sold me the pressure washer, so I'm assuming he knows a thing or two, but I will definitely be picking up some RV antifreeze if I'm going to be doing this regularly. It's been a very cold winter so far. It has been a significantly busy winter. Not necessarily busy enough to pay the bills. We're still relying off of money we made in the spring and fall, but it's been steady, and I can't say that for every year so far, so just keep on building those clients, and it keeps on coming in. Alright, well, I'm going to go and eat some breakfast. Along with it being cold, I currently have a cold, so I'm going to be trying my best to stay warm. I've got my puffy jacket on today rather than just my shell. My nephew's got me a gator for Christmas, so I'll hopefully keep my face a little warmer. And yeah, let's get out there, let's get it washed. Ran into a brine truck on the way here. We were about to get a snowstorm and got all that brine all over the truck. So that'll be getting a rinsing before we go. All over the pressure washers, all over the trailer. So don't want to let that salt sit there any longer than I can. This is the house we're going to be washing today. I believe it is 36 or 3,700 square feet. Right over here is the north side of the home. It is thoroughly green. It's an HOA community, so green's not allowed. But you can see that is pretty caked. This is probably my 5th or 6th project in this neighborhood. Some of you might remember this white fence right back here. I washed that along with a wooden fence right over there. Alright. Yeah, a lot of green, but that's what the SH is for. We're sitting at about 38 degrees right now, and that's going to need a little extra time to dwell. But that's alright, we've only got one job today, and we're above freezing until 6 o'clock, so I can wait as long as I need to. this client had a friend of theirs offered to pressure wash the house. Got a hole in the siding right down here. A friend of theirs offered to pressure wash the house, but it was not something they do for a living, and they said they would prefer to have somebody do it who does this regularly, knows what they're doing, and won't damage anything. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things to promote yourself as a professional, to understand that people don't want to trust their home to just anybody, and sometimes a low price. Got another hole right over here. I'm expecting we'll see a few of those. Some people don't want the cheap guy to take care of their house, so be sure you price to cover your bills because you are an actual business. Yeah, let's go check the water level. Alright, so we've had issues in this neighborhood before on water flow, and today looks like it's no different, but that's alright. We are just about to 50 gallons, and I'm going to go sit in the truck and warm up for a little while, and I'll get started here in just a few. Alrighty, so just cruising right along on this one. The 8 gallons per minute is able to soak extremely efficiently. As you can see, I've got a decent fan, and I am absolutely saturating these second floor gutters and soffits. I'm able to stand pretty far back, getting large swaths at a time. This small area is not a great example of that, but get it cleaned up. Little stuff like this does not really play a factor into our per square footage pricing. These little bump outs, sometimes the garages are bigger than others. I mean, this is a 3-car garage. That has not played a factor in my pricing. I generally don't feel like I'm missing out on a whole lot of revenue by just including stuff like those garages in my pricing, because my pricing is by livable square feet. I could probably make a little bit more by throwing those garages in there, but my efficiencies to be able to do several of these in a day, or on a day like today, just one, and make enough money to be okay. I'm okay. You know, I don't want to nickel and dime these people, any of these people, and the livable square feet pricing structure has done well for me. And just spoke with one of the neighbors that came over. They want a quote, so I'm going to go meet with them after I'm done here. And I pre-wet this fence. It is an untreated fence, so I want to make sure that I'm not furring it if I can help it, because it's going to get wet with the SH. And I have furred fences before, and people say, oh wow, it looks really clean, but it's really not. It's really just a little bit of damage on there. So try my best to not leave it looking all nice and pretty. I want it to look just as dirty as it did before, because behind that furring is still dirty. So again, try not to use SH on wood. I use sodium metasilicate, and I hate it. I love the metasilicate. I hate cleaning wood. I guess I should specify on that. It's just a pain. I use the metasilicate and oxalic acid. So, of course, anything else, or like anything else, when you don't want to do it, set yourself a I don't want to do it price. That way, if you have to go out and spend a day and a half cleaning a wooden fence, you can do that. Preferably not, but I've done it. And I don't want to do it. Anyway, I'm already seeing some change over here by the windows. This is going to need a little longer of a dwell time, just because it's so cold. and this is so thick. I generally don't increase my strength of my mix, but today probably would have been a good idea, at least on this side, to downstream straight SH, just to attempt to knock this out. Alright, taking a quick break. We are running a little low. We got about 25 gallons of water. And that north side needs a good chance to dwell, so I went ahead and cut it off, let the tank fill back up. I can rinse the north side and wash the front, then I'm done. We're currently looking at 37 degrees right now, and I'm having no issues washing, other than a little bit on that north side being so as dirty as it is. I should have brought some straight SH. All I brought was my mix, which is pretty close to straight SH, but just being so cold, it's needing a little bit of time to work. So I'm giving it time while I let the tank refill, and hopefully if I can get up to 50-60 gallons in the tank, I will be able to just rinse and wash and rinse and be done with it, and then I can go and chat with this other potential customer. This is one of the biggest things in business that I've noticed is the more you work, the more work you get. So the best advertisement you could ever do is having your truck in front of someone's house and doing it in a professional manner and getting those referrals. You know, I know a lot of you guys are getting your start right now. A lot of you guys are going through your first winter right now. And I'll tell you, my first couple winters sucked. But it's really one of those things of one lead leads to another. And it's not a perfect science. It doesn't always happen. But, you know, I got this house, this client while I was leaving another house in this neighborhood. And then if this leads me to another client, what happens when I come back for that house? And that might be the end of it. I don't know. It's not a huge subdivision, but they're all relatively new, and they're all getting about to the point where they need to be washed. But anyway, that's my rant. I'm going to hang out for a little bit, enjoy some of this warm weather in the truck, and I will get back out there and wash in just a few more minutes. All right, a little bit of dwell goes a long way. This has probably been sitting on here 15 minutes, and it's basically all gone. I've got a couple spots here and there that look like they, yeah, like right over here, there's just a little bit of goop still remaining, but that's going to get rinsed off. Yeah, love it. This is not rinsed. This is just a little SH applied twice to make sure it stayed wet and ready to rinse. So back home, unloaded, and I got the trailer rinsed off really good. I want to make sure I'm not putting it up with all that salt on it. I know SH is going to get on there over time, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing the little things to help keep that thing maintained and running for years. I did look back, and since October, it's January currently, so in the past 3 months, we've done 8 projects in that neighborhood, and that came off of one yard sign, one $4 yard sign. I didn't tally up the totals, but it was a good yard sign. I'm not saying that they all do that, but I'm saying that that has been my main lead driver since I started. I did a lot of flyers. I spent a lot of hours and hours pounding the pavement, going door to door with flyers. But yard signs, honestly, one good yard sign makes a huge difference. I have had a lot of these where one lead turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 4, and the dominoes over the years. And I can go back and I can say, that came off of one phone call. And this neighborhood, I think it's going to be one of those moments where I say, you know, my return on investment for that one yard sign is already blown out of the water. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below for where we get our yard signs from. We get them from UZ Marketing. I'm not saying that every yard sign I put out has gotten me business, but the vast majority of the times where I'll go out and I'll put out, you know, 30, 40, 50 yard signs, I'll get a couple phone calls. I mean, even in the off season, because I do gutter cleaning, and I have gutter cleaning and house washing, you can kind of see the sign back here in the back seat behind me, house washing, gutter cleaning, plain and simple, phone number, website. I get calls year round off those yard signs, and then they start to, once you get a customer, a client, you can go out and you can do the good job. You can get referrals, you can get references, but you have to get your name out there first. And for me, it was definitely yard signs that changed kind of the trajectory of our business. It really did. As soon as we switched from door to door with flyers over to yard signs, I was able to reach thousands of people. And my phone started ringing, and my phone stayed ringing. And I've reinvested a lot of that money back into yard signs. I just got a new shipment just a couple days ago. I got to get them put together, get them put out there. Yeah, I highly recommend them. Check them out in the description below. I will see you guys next time, and y'all be safe out there.